Hey guys, welcome back to the Wall Street Bull. Anthony here. I hope you're all doing well and staying positive out there. It is never a dull and boring moment in crypto, finance, or the stock market. That is why I love doing daily market updates. Now today, yes, I am back, ladies and gentlemen. I've had a busy long weekend here in Melbourne, and I'm actually feeling very unwell. Obviously started feeling a bit crook at Oasis, believe it or not, and then just got slowly worse and worse. But I had some important events to attend, including the Melbourne Cup, which I was invited to, which was amazing. Really good networking, but keeping a very close eye on the crypto news. There is a lot going on with Ripple and XRP. Very, very bullish. We're going to go over that. Of course, the total market cap today. We're going to have a look at that. Earn curve, my spot crypto exchange. Obviously, how my bots are performing. The market is down, but they are still trading for me. We do have Ripple raising $500 million, which is amazing. Partnership with Ripple and, of course, MasterCard, which is huge for RLUSD. Again, we have big, excuse me, things coming for Ripple at the end of this month, which is amazing. Still, the US government shutdown is happening at the moment. There's a lot going on there. In terms of, what is happening with all of these ETF approvals. We've got Ethereum, again, $1.1 billion of Ethereum was bought in the last 48 hours. We've got Chainlink as well, tokenizing the S&P digital markets, which is huge, going on-chain. That is amazing. Will Bitcoin's largest ETF withdrawal since July deepen the Bitcoin crash? We're going to have a read of this article and, of course, everything on X, and a recap, of course, with Ripple Swell, which took place over the weekend, which is really cool to see. But anyway, I'm going to have my espresso. Cheers, guys. Let's get into it. Massive shout out and thank you to every single one of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you are new, make sure you smash the subscribe button down there and turn on that little bell notification, because as you can see right here, I love documenting my journey with investing with cryptos, dividend stocks, growth stocks, talking about passive income, building financial freedom. And of course, my goal at the end of the day is to build generational wealth. So come along on this incredible journey. It's been insane and very, very interesting. Also, if you can give this video a thumbs up, watch it straight through, it would really help me push this channel out to a lot more people, because the YouTube algorithm is absolute magic when you find, ladies and gentlemen, do that. So make sure you give it a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. It's down there. Thank you very much. Also, a little disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. Please do your own research and due diligence with this stuff. I do not want to see anyone get financially hurt. That is why my number one golden rule is I only invest what I can afford to lose. And yes, we don't like to lose. You can lose money like that in the blink of an eye in crypto and, of course, any other investment. So please be careful out there. Do your own research. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. All right, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, I'm still feeling a bit under the weather. Again, the weather's been crazy here in Melbourne. Pouring rain over the weekend, freezing cold, boiling hot. It's going from one extreme to the other. Now, have a sip of the coffee. Coming over to, of course, the community tab. I have been posting in here and also in the Patreon, by the way, which again, you can join and see my full holdings of crypto, that's for sure. Now, we do have a lot coming with institutions with XRP. As everyone knows, I'm really bullish on it. A lot. Franklin Templeton, 1.5 trillion. Wisdom Tree, 113 billion. ProShares, 70 billion. Grayscale, 40 billion. 21 shares, $7 billion. There is a lot of institutional capital coming into, of course, Ripple and XRP, which is nice. Now, this is one of the updates again, excuse me, that I posted up. This is from Brad Garlinghouse. 2025, without a doubt, has been an incredible year for Ripple and a record year for crypto as a whole. Although we have a couple of months left, this announcement feels like a cherry on top of the mountain of good news, which is true. Today, we announced a $500 million investment in Ripple from Fortress Investment Group. And of course, we have Citadel Securities, which is, I believe it's Citibank, forgive me if I'm mistaken right here, Brevan Howard and Marshall Wace, a $40 billion valuation, which is huge. And this investment isn't just a validation of Ripple's growth strategy and business built on foundation of XRP, but also a clear bet on what is coming this, in these next couple of months, which is going to be amazing. Honestly, it is. It's going to be absolutely incredible. I don't think a lot of people are focusing on the long-term growth of these assets. Everyone's just thinking short-term. Now, moving on, let's go to coin market cap. We do have a total crypto market cap, $3.43 trillion, $164 billion in volume. We are still significantly off from that $4 trillion market cap. So again, people have to understand there's a lot to recover. Again, there's been a lot of liquidations taking place, a lot of selling from institutions. I know BlackRock sold a lot of Bitcoin like crazy, and Ethereum, I should say. We're still at 23 out of 100 on the altcoin season index, as you can see on the screen. Negative $256 million, excuse me, on, again, the ETFs coming out. And again, on the 4th of November, 2 days ago, we had $785 million coming out of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So there's been a lot of selling, but, they are buying, which is interesting. I've got to look into this, why they're doing this in the strategy, so to speak. Coming over to my watch list, the top gainers in the last 24 hours, and I do share this full list in my Patreon. We've got Brevan. I don't know what's going on with this. It's up 782% in the last hour. I don't know. I've just been holding this for years. ICP is up 23%. Digibyte 24%. Quant up 20%. Telcoin 11%. Now, if you go to market cap, Bitcoin is trading at 103,000 US dollars. Again, it is down from those all-time highs. Excuse me. I'm still bullish as anything, guys. It really is not even getting started yet with these assets. Ethereum's at 3,300. XRP's at $2.32. Solana is up 185, which is nice. Dogecoin 16 cents. Cardano sitting at 53 cents. Chainlink $14. Stellar's at 27 cents. Sui's at $1.99. Hedera's at 17 cents. Litecoin $86. Polkadot is at $2.60. ICP, been holding this for years, at $6.15. VeChain still doing nothing for 3 years. Still sitting in the portfolio, 1 cent. Quant is at $88, excuse me, and XDC sitting at 5 cents as well. Excuse the coughing, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, moving over to my spot crypto exchange, EarnCurve. Thank you very much. Did hit a big milestone, 700 registered users, which is amazing. For me personally, seeing people trading with the bots is amazing because it's fully automated with Octobot. Everything is linked below. If you do join and register and KYC, I will apply a 10% discount to your trading fees. It is a great time to set up the trading bots on, of course, EarnCurve and Octobot. As you can see right here, my Bitcoin positions are trading for me. Let's just go to the XRP ones and see what this is doing because I've got this set and I'll show you guys down here. Excuse me, I'm feeling terrible at the moment. We've got a lot of trades happening today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is nice, buying and selling. Really cool, guys. And this has been going non-stop. Absolutely non-stop for obviously a few weeks now. Coming over to Octobot, the XRP Navigator bot, which again, I've got trading. Obviously, it's trading the markets 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as you can see right here. You don't have to touch a single thing. You let them trade for you, and it has trailing up, meaning it's going to capture that market movement. So again, I've got this set. It is down at the moment because the entire market is down, right? People have to understand, I started this on the 20th of October, and we are now the 6th of November, and we're not even, there yet with the ETFs and all of the institutional capital that's coming in. Perfect time when the market is down. I mean, that is the ideal time. It's not financial advice, but that is the ideal time. And as you can see, the AI is working. I'm checking if any orders are missing. It's constantly analyzing the positions that it's opened up. It does use limit orders, obviously, on a grid. So when when the market moves up, it sells. When it dips, it buys. So that's what it's doing constantly, non-stop when it's hitting those price targets. And you don't have to touch it. So again, if the market rises, it's going to capture that. So go register. earncurveinvest.com. You can email me here. As you can see, email us. I'll get back to you on that. And of course, I do have the video. I get a lot of emails about how to set this up. If you come over to my YouTube channel, excuse me, multi-bots are finally live. You click this, full instructions with timestamps on how to get set up with this and get going. All of the links are below. And I would like to say also, please use the discount code for Octobot in the video description. And again, with regards to deposits on EarnCurve, just to make sure everyone's aware, it's crypto to crypto only. It's only the spot market. There are no, again, fiat on-ramps to this, because again, that's just a whole nother door with regulation in Australia. So I'm only registered for crypto to crypto. Now, USDT, ERC20, BEP20, TRC20, and Polygon. I like TRC20 because it's by far the cheapest and the quickest. You can use, of course, Bitcoin, BNB, XRP, as you can see right here. Now, if you do deposit XRP onto EarnCurve, make sure you include the wallet tag. Very important for those funds to be allocated. You can deposit Cardano, TRX, and Matic. Pretty straightforward, okay? Now, coming over again, the markets will trade themselves, and you don't have to do anything on here, just to let everyone know. Once you've set up these bots, you let them trade, as you can see right here. Pretty cool stuff. And again, I've got bots running at the moment, again, on XRP. That is a given. Ethereum and Bitcoin as well. Really cool strategy. Excuse me. Ethereum, Bitcoin, Sui, Solana, and again, the Top Coins Accelerator bot, which I've left trading for a while now. That's trading the top assets, of course, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, and XRP, all in the one. Really cool. Anyway, moving on to the big news, but this is huge. But Ripple raises $500 million at a $40 billion valuation. And again, following the XRP historic surge, which is nice. Crypto fintech company Ripple announced a $500 million strategic investment on Wednesday. At a $40 billion valuation. The firm, whose founders helped create the cryptocurrency XRP, said that the funds managed by affiliates of Wall Street giant Citadel, that's the company, Securities Fortress Investment Group, and Brevan Howard took a part in the raise. XRP price was trading slightly higher on Wednesday morning, New York time, at $2.28 per coin. The coin surged to a new all-time high mark of $3.65 in July, which it did. And it's going to happen again, breaking a 7-year-old record fueled by regulatory optimism and plans for the US spot exchange traded funds tracking the crypto assets. And again, this investment isn't just a validation of Ripple's growth strategy built for the foundation of XRP, but also a clear bet on what the future, again, of crypto will look like. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse wrote on X, and this is what he said: "I'm very proud of what we've built and all that's to come." Very, very exciting. And Ripple added in its announcement, the decision to accept $500 million in new common equity reflects the strategic value deepening relationships with financial partners whose expertise complements Ripple's expanding global suite of products. They're not just going after cross-border payments. There's many other things, of course, with RLUSD. Now, leading into this, which again is huge, but the first MasterCard credit card settlement pilot using Ripple's RLUSD launches on the XRP ledger. It's all just building together. It's building the infrastructure and the backbone of all of this stuff, right? Ripple said at Swell 2025, it is working with MasterCard, WebBank, and Gemini to settle credit card flows using RLUSD on the XRP ledger. And it would be one of the first times a regulated US bank processes fiat card settlements with a regulated stablecoin, which it is. RLUSD is a regulated stablecoin, which is really nice to see that. And again, you can use, of course, USDT, you can use USDC, and now RLUSD. So they're in that, stablecoin competition market, so to speak. It's very exciting. And this collaboration builds on earlier work between Ripple, Gemini, and WebBank to bring digital assets into banked products, and is also fits MasterCard's longer program to modernize its network with compliant blockchain solutions instead of unregulated tokens. That is why this tie-up is significant for banks watching this space. It shows that regulated card brands are willing to test public chain settlement with the asset. The issuer and the participants are all inside compliance, which is very, very nice to see that. So they're moving into the stable coins, and there's an interview with Brad we're going to watch as well. And XRP set for a big moment at Ripple Swell. This happened over the weekend. Really, really cool to see this. There is an interview here, and full credit to Ray Funatis. Thank you for this video. Let's have a listen to this.
We're here at the Ripple Swell 2025 conference, and I've got Sal Gilbierti, the CEO of Tcrium, the Double X XRP ETF, a leverage XRP ETF, if I'm correct, Sal. How are you doing today?
Doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining me today because this is a wonderful opportunity to brush elbows. We actually brushed elbows last night at
your party. It was great.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you for letting me in.
Well, now you're returning the favor with this interview. How has your experience been at day one Ripple Swell, sir?
It's fantastic. It's a good event. You can learn a lot of people here who are making decisions and making things happen in the industry.
And was there any key takeaways or notables, information that left an impression on you as we were concluding day one?
Definitely. I think the two things that jumped off the page at me are, one, I believe I heard the Canary CEO say that their Ripple physical ETF, their token ETF, 33 Act ETF, will come out on November 13th. I think I heard him say that. And that was on stage, so it's not a secret. And I did hear Citibank predict that within 5 years, tokenized assets would be in the trillions of dollars. Those two things jumped out.
Interesting. You know, that November 13th due date, let's just say, is really sticks out to me because I believe that's either it's going to be the second day trading day after the third quarter earnings announcement by Circle, which is when the institutional traders can begin trading the Circle public equities. But I believe the lockup period, which was 180 days, is to end December 2nd, which is actually my birthday. But anyways, thank you, sir. Thank you. You're welcome to join the party. But there's a lot to unpack. That's also even when we saw in one of the last bull runs when Bitcoin ran to, it was at their all-time high back in 2020. Coinbase had IPO'd. So there's a lot of synergies that we see in the public versus the privates, or what we see.
Anyway, that's a great interview, and thank you, Ray, for this. But again, yes, next week is the 13th, so we're currently at the 6th. I think we're going to see a few more ETFs get approved. Now, again, the US government shutdown is now at 36 days. There are currently 670,000 federal workers, again, that are not working, and a lot of them are working without pay, which is brutal. And that is one of the reasons why we're seeing the ETFs not being fast-tracked, but a lot of these ETF applications are removing, and amending their S1 filings, of course, to get these through. Now, there was $1.1 billion of Ethereum, bought in the last 48 hours, which is interesting. The S&P Digital Markets Index to go on-chain in Chainlink Denari partnership, which is wild, but tokenized equities, stocks or bonds, platform Denari and blockchain oracle provider Chainlink have announced a partnership to bring the soon to launch S&P Digital Markets 50 Index on chain, combining traditional equities with major digital assets such as major digital assets in a single benchmark. That is huge. That is going to come to, of course, all these assets. It will. And again, will Bitcoin's largest ETF withdrawal since July deepen the Bitcoin crash? I'm not worried because I'm trading the spot market. If you are trading with leverage, you will get wrecked. This is what happens when you trade with leverage. Don't trade with leverage. It's dangerous. And over $492 million in liquidations and $577 million in ETF outflows pulled the prices lower as institutions took profits. Strong retail accumulation on Coinbase and bullish multiple readings point a renewed upside potential near long-term support. The dip triggered about $492 million in liquidations over 24 hours. That's because people are trading with leverage. Don't trade with leverage. Trade the spot market on EarnCurve with the bots. There's no risk of liquidations. That is the truth. We've got a lot of interviews here. We're going to listen to, and thank you, Altcoin Daily, for this one. Big fan of your channel, mate. Chainlink founder says institutions will 10x crypto overnight. Let's listen to this.
We'll continue to do permissionless innovation. We'll continue to invent new stuff. Great stuff. Like mind-blowing cool stuff, which I'm a big fan of, and we're all a big fan of. But then the capital into that stuff will come from these institutions because their clients have all the money. They do. It's all the world's money in these institutions held by the clients, and the institution services the clients, right? And so the clients are going to say like, oh wow, look, I can get 8% on the US dollar in DeFi. Let me make this percentage of my treasuries convert to DeFi.
Decentralized finance.
That's unbelievable. That's like, that will 10x DeFi overnight if that happens. Make the yield go down, but it'll 10x DeFi overnight.
That's true. And again, moving on, I want to play a couple of interviews with Brad. There's a lot going on here. Where are we? Let's listen to this quickly.
Well, and kind of back to one of the things I said earlier, having a fortress and a Citadel, I mean, these are truly the leading financial players and architects of financial trading in the country, and so for them to come along with us as partners and allies, I think is a very big deal, and I'm thrilled. The corp dev team at Ripple's had a busy year.
What message does that send to Wall Street, to traditional finance, to crypto skeptics?
Get on board. We talked earlier today about the fact that there's still over 50% of the financial institutions in the United States have zero exposure to crypto. There's zero chance that that's going to be true a year from now. That number is going to continue to go down and down, and that is actually great news because that's tailwinds for the whole industry. Yes, I mean that's tailwinds for Coinbase, that's tailwinds for Circle, but that's also tailwinds for Ripple. So happy about that.
All right, let's talk about XRP. How does XRP fit into your larger M&A strategy?
Well, XRP, I sometimes have to remind the world of this, but XRP is at the heart and soul of what Ripple is doing. We care deeply. We have called it our North Star, but at the end of the day, we want to do things that are good for the XRP ecosystem. We want to build trust in XRP. We want to build utility in XRP, and we want to build liquidity in XRP. And each of the acquisitions we do, in one way or another, we believe it will do those things. Now, it may not be, some people may look at it and be like, I don't really, scratch their head a little bit. Well, I promise you that we see in the three-dimensional game of chess, we see how we believe that's going to evolve. Sometimes we'll probably do things that are more obvious and some less obvious. That's okay with us.
Right, there might be...
One of the advantages of being private is I don't always have to explain myself to public investors.
So that's another reason not to have the IPO anytime soon. But there are critics who might say that this pace of M&A, this blistering pace, is papering over the fact that organic adoption of XRP hasn't fully lived up to its potential.
Listen to this.
Look, on one hand, I get it, and I would say, again, macro, one of the challenges for crypto at large is the number one use case is speculation. How many proven scaled use cases of crypto on any token or any blockchain can you point to? And unfortunately, I do think the industry has to live up to the promise of blockchain over the next 5 years, 10 years.
Do you think that'll still be the case in 5 years' time?
No. I was in Saudi Arabia last week on a panel at the IIF, and this was my FII. That was my primary point. We are finally, partly because of regulatory clarity, you're seeing more entrepreneurs, more investors, and it's very analogous to what happened in the earliest days of the internet. The 1996 Telecom Deregulation Act provided clarity and structure so that entrepreneurs and investors could come into the internet space and did the money flow in, and the entrepreneurs flowed in. And yes, we saw a dot-com bubble. I think as we get more regulatory clarity, you're going to see more institutions, more capital, more entrepreneurs. Now, on XRP specifically, look, do I think that we have room to grow? Absolutely. But if you told me 3 years ago, you'd have literally, I think there's 100 different interesting startups going on in different aspects, some even competing with the Coinbase on the consumer side. There's a ton of growth that's going on in the XRP ecosystem. Some of that Ripple has partnered with, some of that we have nothing to do with. And that is because I believe XRP is an extremely efficient blockchain. It's very fast, it's very inexpensive, and it's very scalable. We don't advocate that it's the right one size fits all, that you should do everything on the XRP blockchain. There's other blockchains that are going to be better at different use cases, and that's great. But we think that we'll continue to champion XRP use cases we think are uniquely good on that blockchain.
And it's because of that potential that we see that an ETF issuer said a spot XRP
ETF
will likely launch next week or shortly thereafter, even with the government currently shut down. We've seen that happen with the Solana spot ETF and the Litecoin spot ETF as well. What does having a spot XRP ETF mean for the coin specifically and for Ripple broadly?
Well, look, I think anytime you are seeing the kind of trust and institutional dynamic of an ETF, making it easier to access and bringing capital into the XRP ecosystem, that's good. It's not lost upon me, ETH as a token was kind of lagging the market in terms of the overall market activity in the spring. But then the ETH ETFs went live and ETH went on a tear. I don't think that's a big surprise. You saw people easier access coming in. I think the first ETH ETF grew to $1 billion very, very quickly. I can't remember the exact timeline. But I think you're going to see that happen in the XRP ecosystem because there's a lot of demand from people who don't have the skill set or interest in launching a Coinbase account or what have you.
He's got absolute facts. It will definitely increase liquidity in the XRP system. There's no doubt about that. And when that happens, of course, the price will rise. But that will take time. But it will happen eventually. Anyway, get on AntCurve, sign up, register, start your bots. I'm out of here. I need to go chill out. If you've watched this long in the video, thank you very much. You absolutely rock. I appreciate all of you, and thank you to all of those content creators that, of course, shared those videos. I appreciate you as well. Very, very interesting times we're all living in. I'll keep everyone posted, all right? Stay safe, stay bullish, and I'll speak to everyone tomorrow. Peace out, guys. Bye.